Carola Liberty, and I have the honor of serving as the chairperson of KITE for the next 2 years. I have been part of the KITE Collaborative for over a decade and have witnessed the impact that this group of teachers, town officials, parents, social workers, firefighters, police, volunteers, pediatricians, clergy, childcare providers, and more have on Enfield. KITE has always welcomed, advocated, served, and celebrated in purposeful ways Enfield's children and their families. KITE sees families' strengths, understands their needs, and works to make sure they are valued, included, and supported in fulfilling their potential. This past year alone, KITE held focus groups to hear from our community their ideas and vision, which informed our work in our community plan, as well as in our continued efforts in the area of equity. These opportunities to listen to those in our community not only helps chart the course for KITE's future, but informs the work of everyone involved. The work of KITE shapes our tomorrows in ways that show us all the seeds of possibility that exist. I hope that tonight you feel valued as a KITE supporter, that you share our collective pride over this work, and that you too see all that our community is becoming as a result.
Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds wherever grows.
KITE has envisioned, implemented, and advocated for the needs of children and their families through the Enfield Early Childhood Community Plan since 2012. This comprehensive plan is the blueprint and roadmap for the strategies and initiatives that KITE and the broader Enfield community carry out to ensure KITE's mission. Paused during the pandemic, KITE hired cross-sector consulting to facilitate this enormous task. 14 community-wide focus groups with parent and community leaders, organizations, and KITE collaborative members, 98 family surveys, and over 1,500 collective hours went into the creation of the 2023 plan. This is truly Enfield's plan for young children. These initiatives and strategies create the foundational garden for children to thrive and realize they have the potential to do great things.
Hi, I'm Dave Bechtel with Cross Sector Consulting. I've been working with Enfield KITE for over 10 years now. We worked with them on their first comprehensive early childhood plan back in 2012, and I have worked with them updating the plan since then and on the most recent plan that we just completed this past year. And I would say working with KITE has been such a pleasure. Our firm has done a lot of work over the years with different early childhood collaboratives on their plans. And I would say KITE has been one of the strongest collaboratives that I've worked with. I'm amazed by the folks who have been involved. You've had a great core group of leadership, but also a really strong collaborative, which engages a lot of different partners and has been able to maintain that collaborative for a long time. I feel like the work on the plan has always been excellent. The involvement of everyone, the insights, the ability of everyone to get involved and gather a lot of information from all kinds of stakeholders and gathering documents and data and research and putting it all together in a way that is really compelling. The former leadership work group chair, Leanne, said in our planning meetings, when it's in our plan, it's going to get done. And so I think that's an amazing testament to KITE as a collaborative. So how do we build those connections again? How do we support families again? How do we do things that are going to address a lot of needs at the same time and support families in multiple ways? All of that was part of the discussions, and I think it's really resulted in a powerful plan that, again, with a strong collaborative, you can work together to really make it happen.
Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Keselowskis, and I'm the Deputy Chief of the Enfield Police Department. I was brought up to believe that if you want to make a difference in your community, you need to get involved. You need to show up and do the hard work that is necessary to make your community better. The desire to want to help others is at the core of why I became a police officer. Throughout my entire life, I have found that helping others is one of the most rewarding, fulfilling actions one can take. And I take every opportunity I can to accomplish this goal. What initially drew me into joining the KITE Collaborative was being part of a focus group to assist KITE in creating its early childhood community plan. The focus group was comprised of municipal leaders from several different disciplines throughout our community. Our goal was to foster communication, share expertise, and connect resources to enable information sharing that would allow KITE to better accomplish its mission and support its initiatives. I thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to provide feedback into this plan, so much so that I was later honored to join the KITE Collaborative as a sitting member of this group. I have found that being on the KITE Collaborative is highly rewarding, both personally and professionally. As Deputy Chief of Police, I know that building partnerships within this community is the framework of success. As a public safety administrator, being part of this collaborative allows me to better understand the needs of our community and where resources are needed, and allows the community to better understand what we can do to help and the resources that we can provide. I am uniquely positioned in my role as a public safety official to share my perspectives on what is affecting the residents of our community at home, at work, and at school. Mental health, drug addiction, domestic violence, alcoholism, and bullying are but a few topics of concern that have a huge impact on our students. Being a KITE member has allowed me to network with community leaders, build relationships, partnerships, and now even friendships among some of its members. It is essential for the police to be highly visible in this community, to continue to build trust between us and our residents, and for them to know that we stand ready to help them in any way we can. Please know that I am honored to sit amongst this esteemed group of individuals that make up the KITE Collaborative, and I am committed to working with each of you in the future to make our community safer, stronger, and better for our efforts. Thank you.
KITE is fortunate to serve at both a regional and statewide level through the Connecticut Children's Collective and the Office of Early Childhood. These organizations have an emphasis on elevating parent voice when it comes to serving the needs of young children. KITE has 3 parent ambassadors who serve in acting as two-way conduits between KITE and the statewide parent cabinet. They are KITE's eyes and ears as they seek out the needs of Enfield families and find creative ways to address those needs. In 2022, KITE parent ambassadors noted the alarming amount of stress, anxiety, and lack of self-care that parents and caregivers were experiencing. Time for You was formed, a wellness series aimed at helping parents find their peace and calm. Art therapy, meditation, and Circle of Security parenting were all classes to support parents' mental health, which allowed them to care more wholly for their children.
Danielle Brown. I am the parent ambassador for KITE. I work with the Office of Early Childhood Parent Cabinet. Our focus is to look at what families need the most and to elevate that to the state level. And right now we're seeing a lot of themes with families. Some of the themes are the mental health, quality, affordable childcare, but also parents just not having time for themselves. It's a theme in Enfield, but also a theme across the state. And so we wanted to come up with a program for families, a self-care series where they could have time for themselves. So together we sat and we figured out that we wanted to do Time for You. It's for all families in Enfield. There was free childcare, free dinner, and a free program. My favorite one was the Circle of Creativity because I'm an artist also. I enjoyed watching the families let go. I think they felt safe because they knew that their children were in another room and they were being well cared for. And this was just time for themselves to de-stress and relax. Throughout this experience, we were also able to get to know families more and to really see what else they're struggling with so that we can continue to bring this to the state level. We know that as a parent, we're taxed to our limit, and sometimes we don't put ourselves first. It happens more often than we think. So this was a reminder to put your oxygen mask on first and really take time for you. I am grateful to be part of this program and as a parent ambassador.
One of KITE's closest members and supporters is Enfield Public Schools. From the Board of Education to administration to educators, they work within the KITE Collaborative to ensure academic success and family engagement are embedded in every facet of a child's life. KITE is fortunate to support family programming as well as advocating for policies such as a district-wide plan for family engagement and supporting educators in play-based learning. This year, a pilot program with kindergarten teachers gave them an opportunity to learn new strategies for engaging children in play while meeting Connecticut learning standards. Play-based learning is essential and the most accessible approach for children's academic, social, emotional, and physical development. Most importantly, through play, children learn how to learn.
Hello, my name is Amy Whitbrow and I'm the Partnership Coordinator for the Enfield Public Schools. In my role, I sit on KITE's Leadership Work Group and am lucky to have KITE as a really valued partner. KITE's partnership with the Enfield Public Schools has been going on for years and has made real differences to families and children in our community. We have partnered on many different topics. They help with Family Day, Heritage Fair, transitioning children into kindergartens and making sure families have the information they need. The one that has been going on the longest is bringing executive function strategies and playful learning to our kindergartens. KITE has championed this cause for many years. It's been wonderful to watch the gains that our classroom teachers have made. We have piloted programs that help teachers learn strategies to help children self-regulate in their classrooms. We see the difference on social emotional learning as children move to the upper grades. We have brought playful learning to kindergarten in ways that starts with strategies to bring play scenarios to the classroom, but now extends to how children are learning mathematics and language art and interacting with each other. These scenarios embed all the executive function strategies into playful learning where children pick topics that are interesting to them and as a group decide how to move forward to make play come alive in their classrooms. Last May, Connecticut passed a bill that kindergarten and preschool classrooms need to use playful learning in how they teach children. This is a huge step for Connecticut because of the work that KITE has done in Enfield. We are ahead of the curve. We are seen as a model for others in the state and are lucky enough to be able to showcase what we are doing and how children are learning and succeeding through play with the rest of Connecticut.
KITE has never shied away from having difficult conversations, being a convener of people across all walks of life to elevate the needs of families. Through the collective's desire that all children have equitable access to resources and supports, as well as feeling a deep sense of belonging to the community, the vision for a community conversation began to bloom. KITE gathered a diverse resident planning committee that began to work with Randy McCrae of RM Consulting around the question, what does an equitable Enfield look like? These conversations were a catalyst to action that would ripple throughout Enfield. These community dialogues with over 115 participants answered what their vision for Enfield was, challenges facing our community, and who are the groups trusted to take action in a planning session for groups to hear themes and findings that used information to carry out equity efforts within their organizations. KITE believes that all children and their families need equitable access to the opportunities that foster inclusiveness and success so that they can create lives that are safe, fulfilling, and healthy in order to shape their own future.
To KITE, all means everyone, and KITE continuously reflects on the work they do to be consistently equitable in both focus and execution. I was happy to be involved with the Community Conversation on Equity Planning Committee, especially since it was soon after starting in this new district administrative role. Again, KITE is providing a spotlight on the importance of early education and doing the necessary work in the promotion of educational equity. I look forward to continuing to collaborate with KITE on behalf of Enfield Public Schools.
I'm Ronnie Urena.
And I'm Lauren Urena.
And we're the proud owners of Enfield Produce and Deli. We care about having an equitable Enfield. When I first moved to Enfield, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of representation. So we wanted to have a business that highlighted all the things that the community needs to highlight. I felt like we were heard and a lot of people in the community were heard. We also wanted to hear what other people wanted to say too, not just what we wanted to tell people, but it was nice to know that a lot of people in the community had our same thought process.
One of the things that the first meeting highlighted was that there was a need for what we were doing. That people were interested, people wanted to support minority-owned businesses. Diversity was the big theme that we wanted to highlight. Something we had always talked about, having something on the wall that represents that, and it connected perfectly with what everyone was talking about in that conversation. And then the event would just kind of bring it all together. The painting will go on the wall to beautify the area forever.
We were just so happy because, just having a big organization like KITE help us and want to be part of our project, it just felt really, really good.
One of the things that we're hoping to accomplish with the mural is just a sense of inclusiveness and belonging. When everybody drives by, whether it's the people that helped paint it, whether it's kids looking up seeing people that look like them in the mural, just a sense of belonging within the Enfield community.
It's like Lauren said, a sense of belonging and liking to live in Enfield and loving the community.
Another part, I think, of the importance of diversity is, for our kids. It always comes back to the kids. Our kids are half white, half Latino, knowing that they're surrounded by other people. Everyone is different, but yet everyone can come together and be part of the same community.
These are challenging days for our world, and so many of us feel anxious and frustrated, unable to really fit ourselves into the changes that we perceive. I have lived in Enfield for my whole adult life. We are different now than we were when I moved here in 1977. Enfield, in 2023, is home to an increasingly diverse and vital compilation of family structures, ethnic, religious, socioeconomic, and racial groups who bring to our community rich histories, enduring traditions, and deeply held beliefs. Our children are growing up and learning together in schools with classmates who speak 24 different languages. We cannot ignore, though, that this reality can make it difficult for us to know or trust each other wholly, or to ensure that all of our families and their children have equitable access to the opportunities and supports that will help them live their best lives. We all need trusted connections, groups and individuals who are willing to educate and engage us in change, as well as recognize and celebrate what we have already achieved. To this end, KITE, along with a volunteer committee made up of Enfield citizens, came together to plan and hold a series of community conversations and planning events that we hope will now become a catalyst to motivate and support individuals and groups to move beyond conversation to actions that will propel our growth as an equitable place to live, work, and learn. The truth is that achieving and maintaining a mindset of equity is hard and unending work. But KITE is forever committed to working with Enfield to ensure that all of our young children and their families have equitable access to the opportunities and supports that will help them meet their physical, educational, social, and emotional potential.